Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi LiveNoding. In this episode, I want to share with you this the creation of this structure. Basically, created using cylinder node of sverchok add-on inside Blender. So let's get started. So it's actually pretty simple. You might already can guess. It's basically based on the cylinder, and the cylinder's got deformed somehow, and you just get the U and the V of the cylinder, and you get this. Cylinder node is actually really powerful, and I have a few blend files to share with you that's kind of generate a lot of really useful things. So I'm sharing this so you can understand how this got created. So this actually made of two parts. So this part and this part. So sometimes we call it the U and the V of the cylinder. So if we reset it, this is the cylinder node, and what I did here simply just starting with by plugging a sine oscillator. So I have a sine oscillator, and this gives a sine wave. So depending on the value coming in, to get the sine wave, the original value coming in is just number range between 0 and 10. You can change this and tweak it to your liking. So we have control over a lot of things. On top of the normal sine wave, I add this offset. So the offset will bring the sine wave up or down, right? So you can avoid the overlapping. And this value goes into the meridians. Sometimes you get confused between parallels and meridians, but yeah, just keep going with it. You have control over things, the top part and the bottom part of the cylinder, of course. And then after that, this is starting to get interesting. So I have all this UV connection, get the U part, and then do the inset. The U part of the cylinder with the slice and separate turn on will actually create like a plane, like a circular plane. So I'm using this inset and solidify just to add a bit more detail to make it more solid. So that's alpha. And another UV connections. This time I get the V and the edges. I separate loose all the edges that's vertical, and I'm using circle and bevel as cylinder. So bevel of the curve is also a very powerful node here. Very powerful. And you should play around with it. Now connected together, you end up with this structure. It's highly tweakable, and if you know, you can also bend them using, what is it, bend? This is bend object along path and along surfaces. I probably will cover this in the next video, but use this together with this setup, and you can end up with a very interesting, like a pipe, like a tunnel design. Okay, so there you go. This is cylinder. I call it bird nest, but it can be anything. And yeah, give it a try, play around with it, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.